Yo, what is good? It's Articulated Ninja here. It's two things I want to do in this video. The first thing that I want to do is share my thoughts with Neca about how I feel about even having to make this video in the first place, with how they disrespected the shit out of this Demona action figure. So, Neca. Yeah, wow's right. Get your shit together. You totally disrespected this figure. If it was just a one-off event, a small defect, maybe a small batch, but no. Every single person I've seen review this figure has the same exact problem. Get your shit together, please, because I don't want to walk on stage again. Okay, back to the fun stuff. So obviously you guys seen how loose it is. But this is what you're gonna need. Literally just some crazy glue. And I'm not saying this is a permanent fix. I'm not saying it fixes it forever or you won't have to retouch it up again. But at least for now, mine's is not giving me no issues. So you can try it. You can add more glue than I did and maybe it will be a permanent fix. But all you're really gonna need is some crazy glue. I used a toothpick, but a small apparatus, tweezers, whatever. This way you can actually rub inside the joint. I'll explain right now. And honestly, any crazy glue should do. It doesn't have to be specifically this brand. Any type of strong adhesive bonding glue should work. It's not the holes in her back. It's not that they're too big. It's these pegs on her wing. That little peg is not wide enough. Like, it's not big enough. It needs to be a few millimeters or whatever bigger, because when I take the left wing and I put it in the right side, it kind of holds up. Still not great. I want to do this to both the wings, but it kind of holds up more. And for me, it's the right wing that just drops automatically. So that tells me that, oh, the holes are the same size, but it's the two pegs. The two pegs on the wings are two different sizes. And for me, the right peg is extra loose, aka extra smaller than the peg on the left side. Obviously, just glancing at it, it's too small to be able to really see a difference. But I'm telling you, it's the pegs. It's not really the holes that are in her back. So I'm going to do this process to both of the pegs, but I'll show you me doing it to one. You can do it to both if you need to, if you want to. But let's see what happens when we just apply a little bit of glue around this peg. So make sure that you're careful. You do not want to apply glue anywhere near where the ball actually hinges and starts to move. You literally just want to apply some crazy glue on the outside of the outer peg, like as far away from the actual wing as possible, because if it does hit that ball, it will tighten up and you will no longer be able to move her wings in or out because you just froze up the entire joint. So literally you want to try to keep it, as you can see right there. I didn't go any lower than that. Just apply some glue on the outside around the entire thing. This way it'll be a little bit thicker when it goes inside the hole. You want the peg to be a little bit bigger now. Once it dries up, it'll have an extra layer of width to it because you want it to be as big as possible when it goes inside of the hole. Guys, I know. Trust me, I know. And I'm just adding extra. Worst case scenario, I put a little bit too much, but as long as I don't go down towards the hinge, I'm totally fine. And even if I put a little bit too much, I can just sand it or scrape some off if I need to. But I'd rather extra than not enough. But now that all the glue is on there, you can see how I have it layered around the tip of the peg. We're going to let that dry. And while we're letting that dry, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I want it to be as tight as possible. So I just put a little bit of crazy glue inside the actual holes in her back. That is, in theory, going to do the same exact thing that we just did to the outside of the peg. It's going to make that entire area just a little bit more tighter. The glue is going to take up more space, therefore reducing the looseness between the peg and the actual walls in that hole. So literally I'm just rubbing around a light layer, a light little coat of crazy glue to make it a little bit more tighter. Just take your time, nothing crazy. All in all, it's a pretty fast process. I got all the glue on this figure in just literally 2 or 3 minutes. Letting it dry is probably going to be the longest thing, but just apply some glue inside the hole the same way we applied it on the wing on the outside of the peg. Just light coats, light layers. Okay, so after letting that dry for a little bit, and literally make sure it's super dry, otherwise you're just gonna have to do the process all over again if it's not completely hardened and dried. But I did do the same thing to the left side. I only showed on camera me doing it to the right side, but I did the same exact thing to the left side, and it feels tighter when I just plugged it in. So we're going to plug in the right side now. So now that we got the right side plugged in, I automatically can feel how much tighter it is. Look at that, guys. I'm shaking it the same way that I was before. Well, first of all, this couldn't even hold up without no shaking. So the fact that it can even hold up now with shaking is pretty good. I'm not saying that this is a permanent solution, but if I'm not messing around with it like that, and I just have it on display or whatever, it should last a while. And I wonder if I use something a stronger adhesive like Gorilla Glue and do the same exact process again, will it even be tighter than this? So it's up to you, whatever you guys want to do, but you can see it's actually hinging now. So that is really good. Yeah, so just shaking it up and down. I couldn't do that before. Oh, she is missing her face. I think she deserves to get her face back after the surgery. So yeah, she got that nice back lift, wing lift, Brazilian wing lift. So she got her face back. Everything on her is looking good as it was before, because there was no issues other than the wings. But the fact that the wings are even staying up now is just making me happy, because it's not possible. There was no way I was shaking it before. I'm not holding those wings up with my hand at all, and they're staying in place. Like, look at that. I couldn't, no way. There's no way that was happening before. Super quick fix, less than 5 minutes. It might take more than that for the glue to dry, but it's almost no work at all. And it's much more helpful than what it was. So like I said, not saying it's permanent, but it is so helpful. As you guys can see, I'm not holding her wings up at all. With my hand, I'm not doing a little elbow trick, and her wings are actually staying up. I just want to show you guys with my hands all the way at the bottom, so you can see I'm not holding her wings up in any way, shape, or form, and they're actually staying up, and they still maintain articulation. I did not crazy glue her wings in place. Now, I could do this again to make it a little bit tighter, but I'm okay. But obviously, if you do it again, or if you add more glue the first time around, it's going to be even tighter, and maybe that's what you want. But I'm good with how it is here. Let's get her in some of her Wakanda Forever poses, just so you can see that elbow is not holding up the wing at all. The wings are standing up just fine as they are now. So I really hope this helped. Check me out on Instagram if you want to see my figure photography. But now I can actually try to appreciate the figure for how gorgeous it actually is without the wing problem. Yeah, if you want to check out my thoughts on the figure, go check that video out. I made sure that I'm literally uploading that right now, but I wanted to upload this because I spent a lot of time complaining about the wings without giving a solution. So this is the solution, and I wanted the solution to be at the end of that video. So once again, I'm not saying the solution is permanent, but I'm sure if you tweak it, you could probably make it more permanent without having to crazy glue the actual wings onto the figure. I hope this helped anybody out there. If it did, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Super quick, super easy fix. I'm by no means an extreme customizer. I just like to kit bash here and there. But anybody should be capable of doing this. Pretty easy. Yes, and remember, Neca, get your shit together. Don't make me step back on stage, bro. I will step back on stage, bro. Don't make me do it. Get your shit together, please. Anyways, guys, go check out my actual video on Demona. Thank you for watching, and remember, life is short. Try to appreciate it more than you complain about it. Peace.